Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Knitting Turnpike, my name is Gina Pike. I'm so happy that you're here today with me. Today we're going to be talking about a project that I've been talking about for the last 4 weeks. This is the last week of this project and we are going to have a finished project today. Yes, you guessed it. I'm talking about the Romi Hill Mystery Shawl for Spring 2021 Knit Along. And it was a 5-week long process, and we have a finished shawl today. But before I get into that, last time I mentioned to you how she has clues on every one of her clues about these little poems that talk about, give you hints for what the name is going to be. So let's do the name reveal. I'm going to read you each one of these clues, and then I'm going to reveal the name for this mystery shawl. Clue 1 said, hidden inside, away from the world, no eyes to see. Clue 2, warmth spreading, slumber interrupted, earth awakening. Clue 3, crisp breeze, a soothing song, the scent of rain. And clue 4, moving outward, tender shoots, leaves stretching. The last clue says, misty light, golden morning. And the name for the 2021 mystery shawl is A Meadow in Bloom. A meadow in bloom. Can you read that without giving away the pattern? A meadow in bloom. Yay! A meadow in bloom. I don't think anybody guessed that. I know I didn't. I was talking about springing forth, and of course that was the name of one of her shawls already, but I was talking about spring, and I did not get that. So, A Meadow in Bloom is her latest shawl. And she did talk about in her podcast that she might be doing another mystery shawl this summer. She's not sure she's going to just do a mystery shawl or just a knit along. So that might be something you might want to keep your eyes out for. If that does happen, I will mention it. Give me 1 second. Straighten this out a little bit better. Sorry about that. Are you guys ready to see this shawl? You guys have seen clues 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will link all the videos down below if you want to go check them out before you watch this video. But here we go. This is the finished shawl. And I will say this. I thought the shawl was going to be a little bit more circular. It's really long and kind of skinny, which is actually an interesting design. It would be great for a scarf. This is the shawl. It won't even fit into my screen. Here it goes this way, and this way, and this way, and this is the blocked shawl. I've already soaked this and blocked it, and I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm still going. There we go. There's the end. So, see 2 colors. I'll get up close and show you the details. And then we have a special treat as well. You guys know I like to show it on the blocking mat. And you guys know I like to show it outside. We have a special treat for that today. And at the end of this video, I like to talk about the stitches or special tips to use for making this shawl. There were no new stitches, but there are a couple of tips for this clue I am going to share with you at the end of this video. And if you don't want to watch that part, just skip it. But if you are making the shawl or interested in making the shawl, go ahead and watch that. I think they'll be helpful. Alright, so here we go. Let's get up close. We'll start the beginning. Remember, this was clue 1, and it had all these cute little flower stalks starting to bloom. And then it went into some chevron lace and some ornaments, like right in here is an ornament because you have a center decrease stitch, you have a bobble, and then you have another center decrease stitch, which shows a really interesting like ornament. And then you had another row of chevron lace. Then you had some slip stitch color work. And then you have another ornament with the second color. You have a bobble, and you have another center decrease stitch. And I think this was a, let me look at it from the front, if you don't mind for a second. Yeah, that was center decrease stitch. And then down in here, oh, I know where that was thinking about. We'll just keep on going. Okay, so there's the ornament. And then there's more chevron. There's more, then all these beautiful lace leaves come in. And right here, see that big hole right there in the bottom lace? That is a double yarn over. I'm going to talk about that at the end. And in the double yarn over, you make 4 stitches. I'll talk about that. And then it ends with this border, which is pinned out like that into points. This border is the super stretchy bind off. I have 2 videos for the super stretchy bind off. I'll link both of them, but the one that is mostly applicable to the shawl is the super stretchy bind off part 2. And I want to say a little bit about this. Actually, I'll wait till the end because that's going to be one of the things I talk about. But the super stretchy bind off is a bind off you can do on any project that you need just a little bit of stretch. It's a little bit of give. It's so easy, and you can do it in pattern. So go check it out if you're interested in something like that. That's all I'll say. Just give you a little bit of teaser. And again, this is the finished shawl. Love it. I love the colors I picked. I love this yarn. It's a linen blend yarn, so it's kind of lightweight. It's got some fuzzies on it because linen yarn does have a little bit of fuzziness, but it's supposed to get softer every time you wash it and wear it. And it's already getting a lot softer than it was when I first started using it. And this has some silk in it. It has, I think this is 65% silk, 35% linen. So it has a little bit of sheen because of the silk, and I think it turned out really pretty. I'm going to show you, now I'm going to show you what it looks like while it's blocking. I'll show you a small clip for the blocking. Hey everybody, I'm going to show you this shawl. This is the Romi Hill Mystery Knit Along for Spring 2021. This is it all blocked out. It would probably look better if I pulled some of these pins out. I pinned the top, and then I went along and pinned the bottom. I'm trying to get a little closer so you can see some details. If you remember how it was all made, the little flower strips. There it started there with the little flower stalks and some yarn overs. Went into the chevron lace and some ornamental details with bobbles and slip stitches, center double decrease stitches, some more chevrons, and then this cute little ornament with the second color and some slip stitch knitting. And then some more ornament work here with bobble and a center double decrease, and then some lace work here to the end. I will show you how to do that bind off, and I already have a video for it, but I'll show you a part of it again. And then there was also a double yarn over, which created a bigger hole here that I'll show you how it created, just so you can see it pinned out when we talk about this. This is the double yarn over, and then you come back and do 4 stitches, creates a little special ornament with that as well to do that edge. And that's what it ended up looking like. It's a very long, kind of like a scarf. It's a very shallow circular shawl. And I can see it being worn as a scarf. And I'm going to take it outside here in a minute and show you what it looks like hanging and in the sunlight. Okay, thank you for letting me share that. Now, here's the special treat. This is usually where I go outside and show you how it hangs on the clothesline. However, I live in Texas, and if you guys have been keeping up with the weather, we've had some very bad storms. We had very bad storms last night, very bad storms. And my clothesline, I went out there, it's still raining, misting a little bit, and I was like, I can endure that. My clothesline snapped, and it's still raining a little bit, so I decided, not a good day to film outside. Although I really want to. I love watching the wind whip through my shawl. That's one of my favorite things. It's kind of like my little reward at the end. But can't do that today. So here I have another clip. I have some help today. And this is my clothesline, my shawl hanging on a clothesline clip. Hey everyone. Okay, today, this is my husband, bless his sweetheart. He is having to be my clothesline outside because it's been pouring rain, and my clothesline broke because of all the storms. So, I'm asking him to hold this shawl for me. This is the Romi Hill Mystery Spring 2021. Oh my gosh, we're in for a treat. And you guys have seen me make this shawl. I just kind of want to show it being held up. Maybe, can you pretend like maybe a little wind's blowing through it? Show a little drape. Perfect. Look at the drape on this yarn. This was, you guys have seen all the details, but I wanted you to see them all blocked out a little bit, like some of the ornaments that came out, and how the little slip stitch color work, and that ornament there. You can kind of see the color of the yarn. I won't make you hold this forever. I know your arms are probably getting tired. I just want to show some of the detail on the last part that you haven't seen. You do pull those edges to a point to make them look a little bit fancier than just the slip stitch bind off does. And that's the shawl. It's a very long, it's a very long crescent shaped shawl. It's very skinny. It's not very big on the circular part, so it would probably be a great scarf as well. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, like that. And you can kind of see the chevrons and the detail. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you, dear. And this is it for 2021. She did talk about having another one, maybe this summer. We'll just have to see. But thank you guys for watching this. And
I think it would
thank
go
you.
Really good with my merce.
Thank you for modeling it. You look great. Okay. Thank you to my husband for doing that for me. He was very, very accommodating and just jumped right in with both feet and was willing to hold that for me. He's kind of a ham, as you can see. And I appreciate you doing that for me. Thank you. I hope that you're able to see some more details of the shawl and get an idea if you want to make this. I highly recommend making any of Romi Hill's patterns. They are all well written. They have charts and they have text. So you don't have to, if you do one or the other, you do the part that you do best. If you do text, you can use text. If you do charts, you can do the charts. And she has two charts on this one. What you see is what you get kind of a chart, or what you see is what you knit kind of a chart. So that's even a step above from previous years. Hey everyone, my video would not be complete if I did not make a special mention. You guys know that I've been saying that a few of you guys are knitting this Romi Hill Mystery Shawl knit along with me. I know that Elise Armstrong's been knitting it, and I've shared her progress pictures that she sent me for like Clues 2 and Clues 3. Please go check those out in those previous videos that I have listed in the description box below. I know that Shaba has been knitting this as well. But I don't think you guys, I may have mentioned her name, but Priscilla of Distinctive Crochet has also been knitting this along with me. And this is her first lace shawl ever. And I'm so excited and happy that she's knitting this along with me. It meant the world to me that she even would do this, knit this along with me. I'm going to share a picture here, cover up my horrible face because I'm not feeling well today. But Priscilla, this is her clue 1 of the Romi Hill Mystery Shawl knit along. And she is using a Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply fingering weight yarn in the colors Daylily Dream and Sweet Pea. And the Sweet Pea is the bright pink that you're seeing here. A Daylily Dream is going to be her second color that she'll start showing in her clue 3, which is kind of a lighter pink. And it's going to be a beautiful shawl. Look at the stitching she's done here. It looks amazing. I feel like I'm being condescending because you're a much better crafter than I am, but I'm so proud of you for doing your first shawl. And seriously, I am proud of you, and I am so thankful you did this along with me. So I hope you're having fun, and I encourage you as you finish this up just to have fun with it. Do it at your own pace, and please go check out Priscilla's channel, Distinctive Crochet. I hope she'll share her finished shawl with us there on her channel, and looking forward to seeing the finished project. So thank you for knitting it with me, and again, I love it when you guys knit along with me and share your progress photos with me. It just makes it a lot more fun for me. So if you ever are knitting something along that I am, or if you want to share your projects, please don't hesitate to email them to me at knitbymoonbeams@gmail.com, and I will get them up in my videos as soon as I possibly can. I think I'm to the point where we are going to go into the tips on knitting this shawl. So if you're not going to watch that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you all have a lovely day. If you guys are going to stay with me on this, all right, there's a couple of tips I want to talk about in knitting this shawl. One of them is down here close to the end. There was this stitch that you had to do. It's right here. I mentioned it when I was showing. It's this double yarn over, and a double yarn over is where you just take your yarn and go over your needle twice, double yarn over, and when you're coming back to knit that on the other side, I'm going to show you what you have to do for this stitch. In this particular instance, we had to knit 4 stitches into that double yarn over to create this little flare design. I don't know if you can see that without me being behind it. And I'm going to show that right now. Working on the Romi Hill Shawl, there is a point on chart 2 where you do a double yarn over. It looks like this. It's really simple to do. It's just like it says. You do a yarn over twice. It looks like, let me show you how to do it here. I just undid it. You do it once, and you just wind the yarn around it again. To do it twice, and it looks like that. Now when you get to the wrong side row, there is a little bit of a trick. The chart does change a little bit. You're going to knit purl into that double yarn over. So you're going to do 4 stitches in that double yarn over. So you just got to make sure you bring your yarn to the front and back, but it's going to make a big hole under all your stitches, which is totally fine. That's a knit, purl, and then I drop that first part off, and I do that again. Knit, whoops, purl, and then you're done. You made 4 stitches in that one, right out of those 2, and it looks like that. And like I said, you're going to have a big hole there underneath, and that's what a double yarn over does, is makes a bigger size hole. And you just go on from there with the rest of your knitting. I just wanted to show you that because it is something different. So see, there's a lot of things you can do. I've done double yarn overs where you, most of the time it's like knit, purl, kind of like this. I've had, like on the Slip Stravaganza for Stephen West, we had that double yarn over, and we had to put 9 stitches into that double yarn over to create those holes. If you remember my slip extravaganza, they had some big holes. You do that stained glass kind of center section, and then you have some holes, and you pick up the stitches and create the edging on that massive shawl. And that this is one of those kind of same type of principles. That's why I wanted to point it out, because I've seen it in quite a few different designers using that double yarn over and then using it to add extra stitches to make some sort of flared out design. And it's not hard. So don't, when you see that, don't go, oh my god, there's a double yarn over. You can do it. Just do it, and then come back on the other side and do what they tell you to do. But it just does leave a big hole. Don't be worried about the fact that you do have a bigger hole. That is part of the design of the shawl. I can't see what I'm showing you. Okay, there we go. The other tip that I would like to mention is the super stretchy bind off. That's what you do for this shawl, binding it off. It's not a very fancy bind off, but it is. I've stretched this to the max when I blocked it, but as you can see, I really stretched these and then created these points. When you get to this point right here, this was a yarn over at the end of, in that next to last row, and in that yarn over, when you get there, you have to knit 3 stitches into that yarn over and bind them off after you knit each one, and then you let that stitch fall off the left hand needle. I'm going to show you that in this next clip and show you how to do the super stretchy bind off. The great thing about the super stretchy bind off is you can do that in pattern. Say like you have, instead of, okay, this is the example. Say like you're knitting your shawl and you are starting to run out of yarn, and you've still got to finish a complete row, and then you got to come back on the back side row and bind it off. If you do not have enough yarn, you can bind it off on that front row as you go along with the super stretchy bind off, and it won't look weird. It will look like it's supposed to, and you will not run out. You can have less risk of playing yarn chicken and running out of yarn. That's the beautiful thing about this. You can do it in pattern. So I'm going to reference my video that I did a while back for this bind off, but also I'm going to show you a clip here now that shows that. So let me insert that clip. I'm doing the bind off for this shawl, and this is called the super stretchy bind off. I have a video for this that I will put a link to above. The great thing about this bind off is that you can do this on any row using any pattern. Like this, for this bind off, it's all just knit stitches. But say like you had a pattern, you did like a knit, purl, you could do the knit, purl, and then you could bind off right after that. So it really helps if you're running out of yarn. You don't have to worry about working all the way through a row to get to the back side row to bind off. For this one though, it is just knit stitches. When you do this, it ends up being super stretchy. There is a piece of this where I want to show you specifically where you knit 3 stitches into the same stitch without pulling off the needle. So you knit the first stitch, do not pull that yarn over off the needle. You're going to be knitting 3 stitches into the middle yarn over. You take those 2 stitches and knit them through the back loop, drop them off your needle. You put another knit stitch through that yarn over, bind those 2 stitches off together through the back loop, and then finally you do a 3rd stitch through that yarn over, knit those 2 stitches together through a back loop, and then that yarn over is done. And then you go on and you knit the next stitches and binding them off as you go. Like you'll knit this stitch, knit those together through the back loop, and so on until you get to the middle yarn over again, where you'll knit 3 stitches in that middle yarn over. And what happens, one second, I'll show you, is that you're binding off stitches as you go. It is a very stretchy bind off, which is going to, it's got some give to it, which is going to allow you to pull this into place. And you can see right here, this is where you knit 3 into that yarn over. And it gives it like a little bit of a, it's not a picot, but it looks like a picot. And when you block it, you're going to pull it, and it's going to have a little bit of a point. This is that one we just did with the 3 stitches. You can see it makes a little bit of a bobble there. And you're going to pull it and make a point, make these into points where you had those yarn overs. And it just makes a nice stretchy edge so you can block your shawl. Like I said again, I do have a video for this super stretchy bind off, and explains it a little bit better, but I wanted to point this out because it is something unique for this shawl. I hope you enjoyed that tip. I love the super stretchy bind off for shawls. It just makes blocking these shawls so much easier, to be able to stretch them to the max, and know that you'll be able to open up that lace and show all the beautiful details of all the hard work that you put into these things. So it's a great bind off to have, and it is so easy. That's the other thing I love about it. Like a picot bind off I did on the Passionista, not easy. Takes a lot of time, but it is worth it. But this one is easy. This one did not take long to do. So thank you for letting me share this finished project shawl. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for 5 weeks as I explained each new clue of this mystery knit along. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're going to knit this shawl, I hope you have as much fun knitting it as I did. I love her shawls. Again, this is the 5th year I've done it. Next year is going to be the 10th annual mystery knit along of hers, and I think she's going to have a big shawl next year. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here and like talking about knitting and crochet and talking about what you're making, please hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you here. If you are one of my members that comes back all the time, thank you so much for coming and watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm currently having a giveaway to celebrate having 1,000 subscribers going on. Please go check that out. I'm also doing a collaboration. It's actually a crochet cowl for a top, and I'm doing that with 2 other channels, the Naughty Yarnies and Chatelaine Makes. Please go check that out if you're interested in making a summer crochet top. Thank you again for watching, for being here. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful, happy day, and I will see you all next time, hopefully very, very soon. All right, thank you so much.